Here's a scenario that cost a pharmaceutical company $48 million. A mid-sized CMO contract manufacturing organization spent 18 months building a validation package for a new manufacturing execution system, paper-based, binders everywhere. Every user acceptance test, documented by hand, printed, wet-signed, scanned, filed in cabinets across 3 countries. 18 months of effort, the system worked. Production improved. Everything seemed compliant. Then the U.S. Food and Drug Administration walked in. The inspector spent 3 days reviewing binders. They issued 11 observations. Not because the software failed, not because batches failed, because the documentation approach could not demonstrate ongoing control. The data integrity gaps were in the process, not the platform. Remediation, revalidation, operational disruption. Import alert risk. Total damage? $48 million. The 3 pillars of how modern pharma builds and manages compliance systems without burning millions. If you're in QA, IT, regulatory affairs, validation, or you're a VP wondering why validation projects always explode in cost, this is for you. Let's define them simply. Cloud QMS is the platform layer. CSA is the validation philosophy. GAMP 5 2nd edition is the lifecycle framework tying it all together. Individually, they sound technical. Together, they are a financial strategy. Why now? Because pharma is under pressure. Margin compression, global inspections, AI integration, digital transformation, multi-site complexity. The old validation model was built for on-premise servers in 2005. Today's systems are SaaS, global, continuously updated. If you validate them like legacy systems, you create risk, not compliance. GAMP 5 2nd edition. What changed? Published by the International Society for Pharmaceutical Engineering. The 2nd edition reflects reality. Systems are cloud-based. Vendors control infrastructure. Agile development is normal. Continuous updates happen. The biggest shift? Supplier leverage and risk-based lifecycle thinking. In the $48 million scenario, they rebuilt validation from scratch. Modern GAMP thinking says, leverage vendor documentation, assess supplier quality systems, focus on intended use, validate configuration, not infrastructure. That alone can cut validation timelines in half. 18 months becomes 8. That's 10 months of earlier operational benefit. Computer System Assurance, CSA unpacked. CSA was introduced by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to fix a massive industry problem, over-documentation without increased control. CSA says, stop validating for paperwork. Validate for patient safety, product quality, and data integrity. In practical terms, instead of 200 scripted test cases with screenshots, you start with a risk assessment. Identify what functions are critical. Electronic signatures, audit trails, batch record approval workflows, role-based access. Apply deep, structured testing there for low-risk features. Streamlined, exploratory testing. CSA reduces noise and increases signal. In that $48 million case, the issue wasn't insufficient testing. It was lack of demonstrable lifecycle control. CSA embeds control into process thinking, not just binders. Modern companies run systems like Veeva systems, MasterControl. Cloud QMS centralizes change control, deviations, KPI, training, audit trails. Now here's the connection. If your QMS is paper-based, your validation lifecycle is fragmented. If your QMS is digital and validated using CSA principles under GAMP 5 lifecycle guidance, you can demonstrate continuous control, real-time audit trails, role-based accountability, traceable change management. Cloud QMS operationalizes compliance. CSA optimizes validation. GAMP structures governance. Together, they create inspection defensibility. Let's break down the numbers. Traditional validation model. 18 months, $1 million plus internal labor, delayed efficiency, high documentation burden. Modern integrated model, 6 to 8 months, 40 to 60% validation cost reduction, faster go-live, reduced QA burnout, stronger audit narrative. Now multiply that across MES, LIMS, EQMF, AI-driven analytics. You're looking at multi-million-dollar lifecycle savings. The $48 million loss wasn't from software failure. It was from outdated validation thinking. A 6-step playbook you can use Monday. Here's the practical implementation roadmap. 1. Start with business objective. What operational metric must improve? 2. Perform structured risk assessment. Tie functionality to patient safety and data integrity. 3. Conduct supplier quality evaluation. Leverage vendor validation documentation. 4. Define intended use clearly. Avoid validating features you don't use. 5. Apply CSA-based testing strategy. Deep test high-risk functions. Streamline the rest. 6. Embed lifecycle governance in Cloud QMS. Ensure ongoing control, not one-time validation. This is how you prevent $48 million mistakes. To wrap it up, Cloud QMS is the engine. GAMP 5th edition is the architecture. CSA is the intelligence layer. When aligned, they accelerate digital transformation, reduce compliance cost, strengthen inspection defense, improve cash flow timing. When misaligned, you get 18 months of paperwork and a $48 million lesson. If this was useful, subscribe, because next we'll break down how AI validation fits into this exact framework. And that conversation is already costing companies money. Let's make sure it doesn't cost yours.